well, there's two. My view of all these things tends to be very complex because of the fact that, as an exorcist, I follow what's called the principle of evidence very closely. And the principle of evidence says that the certitude of our judgment about something is based upon the certitude of the evidence. So if the evidence doesn't give us certitude, we can kind of arrive at a conclusion, but we don't have that same degree of certitude that you would have of if you actually saw something or that type of thing. And so that being said, if you actually look at the actual evidence for the possibility of them living in other locations, then you have to address questions like, is macroevolution, not microevolution, but is macroevolution even possible? Is it scientifically possible, which is very problematic. Theologically and philosophically, there's all sorts of problems with it. The reason for that is because the theory is that if there was evolution here, then that means there would be evolution in the other parts of the universe, and so there would be beings that would evolve maybe before us and therefore be more intelligent, etc. And so that's kind of the scientific background that they kind of give to it. But the evolution question is obviously a whole kind of an interview on its own. But that's one of the questions that has to actually be answered first. The second thing then is, as I've read top tier astrophysicists who actually are really serious about, not just because we see something in the sky that we can't explain and therefore we conclude that they're from another planet. And that's where the principle of evidence is actually violated. Because in point and fact, just because you see something you can't explain doesn't mean there's people on other planets. That's a logical leap that's problematic. And then the abduction questions, which are often linked to those things, then also has another possible explanation, etc. So what's happening is that people are not following the principle of evidence closely. But when you read the astrophysicists, the top tier astrophysicists, they're all very adamant in saying that the energy requirements to be able to travel, even from like one of our closest neighbors, is so extreme that it's not reasonable to presume that it's even possible. I mean, based upon the science and the mathematics.